Hello and welcome back to Whiskerwood. This is episode 23 of our playthrough and this is our series finale, so I will talk you through why that is in a minute. But first let's just see where we are. So we're in autumn, where it's 25 degrees currently, and we're slowly progressing towards winter. Now, let's see what we're researching. We are currently researching the civic office because I wanted to get the extra civics in place. But what we might do is we might change that up and we're going to swap to the rail booster so we can see something funny. It's a season finale, why not? So we're going to change that. And hopefully they'll come in to get that. So, let's talk about Whiskerwood in general and where we're at. So, Whiskerwood is still in early access. That means that the game obviously isn't finished. I mean, it's obviously in a playable state, we're playing it. But it hasn't got the end game set yet. So there is no formal way to declare independence. So from what I can tell, we've hit the end game. And we are as far into the end game as we can progress. Now, I'm not going to subject you guys to sitting here, watching me unlock every research, etc, etc. So I think we've kind of hit the point where we've gone as far as we can. That's not to mean I don't like playing Whiskerwood or won't play Whiskerwood again. Or even finish this I'm not sure who the dev of this is actually. That's very poor of me. But say the dev releases the update, is finished. There's an end game where you can declare independence. There is no reason why I wouldn't come back and visit this series, just with a one-off episode, just to tie things up. But essentially, this is the season finale because we've gone as far as we can go. That will be interesting for you guys to watch. So I hope that makes sense. But that doesn't mean we can't have some more fun with the Whiskers today. So to that end, I would like to unlock the rail booster so we can maybe fling them around a bit. And I'd like to talk about the game in general and the colony we have built. So, what do I think of Whiskerwood? I came from a position of playing quite a lot of Timberball. And I think it would be unfair to call this a Timberball clone. It is a very different game. I mean, you look at it from the point of view of, take it at face value, you have furry animals that you control in the colony. Yeah, I mean, you can say it's the same. It's very different. The survival mechanics are different. They're more seasonal based. It's not sitting on top of. It's not treading on Timberborn's feet, so to speak. So, what should we do? We have a lot of cut stuff. We have a lot of bread. Do you want some bread? I probably don't actually need to do this. Take my bread. It can't hurt, can it? And we have 45 gold bullion now. So what does it do differently? Well, it does differently the job mechanics, so you actually get to place what whiskers you want in what job. You also... Will I take some more whiskers? Maybe I will. This is the trouble, though. You have these forced elements that mean you can't just crack on. Let's take a thoughtful craftmaster. Yeah, we'll take you as well. You can't sort of like go your pace. You're forced to do obviously the game mechanics, and the tax collector is a massive difference. So the things I like about this game, assigning whiskers to their defined profession, I feel like that separates things out massively. I really enjoy the water, the resource mechanic. I feel like the resource management office is really good, allowing you to set production limits. What I would like is you to be able to pause buildings maybe you could set a priority system for whiskers. So you could say we had one of our whiskers is a miner, for example. You could set the job priority to be like work in the blast furnace, work in the ore furnace, and then work in a mine, so that when you hit a production limit of, say, for iron bars in the blast furnace, they would then go work in the ore furnace until they maybe hit the production for that. So like a cascading production limit system. I think that would be very cool, because the trouble is when you hit production limit at the moment, they just sit there, and to manually manage this many whiskers isn't the easiest thing. But other than that, it's good. I love the aesthetic of the game. The building is an absolute joy. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I think this is really pretty. It's just a good game. Like, the aesthetic is lovely. It's all the building. You can build on top of stuff like we've done down here. You know, I would love to have a proper playthrough where I really think about how we're building, where we're putting stuff. So like the water pipes and the steam pipes, they fill a need at the moment. They're overground, over the paths. It does kind of give that like industrial Dockland vibe that I do want to go for. But in an ideal world, if I was making something super aesthetic, I would pop the dice, not the dice, the pipes underground. And I think that would just look better. I like the farming mechanic. The farming mechanic's very good. I like the fertilizer. I mean, the end game stuff is really good. Like I like all of the catalysts and production, increased production, and I like the idea of belts in my head. I don't know whether because I started playing halfway through the belt implementation, so we didn't have any of the splitters and stuff. I was a bit nonplussed with the belts at the beginning, and we built our colony. Well, we did build our colony with belts in mind, but then we had to quickly change that when the belts couldn't do what I wanted, and now they can do what I want. The colony isn't in a place where we can do what I want. Fine, come over here. I like the layer tool. I find the layer tool very good. One thing I did find frustrating, especially in the early game, do you remember when we was building our dockyard over here? And I wanted to put the fishing docks out. It was a bit frustrating having not being able to. So we wasn't able to put water back in, was we? Once you've taken like a block of stone, once you put a block of stone in, you can't take it out and refill with water. So I did find that quite frustrating. The other thing I do find frustrating is the constant chasing for resources. Now, if you come over and look at our big boy strip mine, I mean, this is still hilarious. Like, it's just dumb, isn't it? But it's funny. So if you come and look at our big boy mine over here, I might actually tell them to, because we are going to come back and play this, remember, at some point. So I might tell them to do that. You look at our mine. So we are strip mining this out for resources. So I don't know how long this has been going. Did I maybe put this in episode 10, something like that? So a good 10, 12 hours of gameplay ago, and we've hardly dented it. And what this does is this gives you a lot of stone up here. And I found quite frustrating, especially before we had these outlet pipes, the amount of stone we had. I know I could have turned it into cut stone. I could have got more whiskers involved in that. But when you're having to constantly put your whiskers into that, it did feel quite, I don't know, quite frustrating. So my proposed change for that would, rather than having to have these outlet pipes where I can just yeet stuff into the sea, my proposed thing would be to have a recipe in the sifting tower. And what you would do is you would choose to sift. So you would chuck the cut stone in, and what you would do is you maybe put one cut stone, not cut stone, just raw stone, just stone, stop calling it cut stone. And what you might do is you would roll a dice and there's a 1% chance of each ore type coming out. Just so you could use your cut stone for something else, not your cut stone, your stone for something else rather than just having it sit there. Especially in the early game when I was playing, we had warehouses full of the stuff. And it wasn't particularly, it didn't feel good. And I did find it quite weird, like the underground mechanic. You remember when we struggled to put our lift in? That was also quite challenging. But I don't think that's. I think that was more on me as opposed to the game itself. No, they're doing a lovely job down here. So let's just check on our research. See how our research is going. You've heard me wax lyrical about the game for a little bit. 33% good. What I do enjoy is I enjoyed the complexities of the recipe. So, should we come look at our? Oh, let's end the day then. So, if you look at this, so we can put fish mushrooms and fuel to make fish skewers. So the dock below provides the fish to produce that, and then if we want to go on further, we can then use the fish skewers in a further recipe. So what recipe am I looking at? We are looking at so in the fine kitchen you can use bread, fish skewers to make hearty meals. So there is production chains, there is a lot of scalability. The catalysts really help. I think you need to be able to really sort of plan for it, is one thing I would say. I feel like I didn't super plan for it because I didn't understand the scalability. I was making like a cutesy little area down here when really I needed to leave a lot of gaps. I think we've done quite well of filling it all in. Let's not draw the eye of the claws. We saw how that went last time. Yeah. So I genuinely think this game has got legs. I really want to play it when it's out of early access or they have put an end game in, because I feel like that's the bit that's missing now. One thing I am very pleased with in this game is how you can delete a building and it doesn't immediately delete whatever's on top of it. So when we was replacing these houses here, our beautiful row housing that we put in like along this side, along this cliff place, when we was deleting this, it was really satisfying to not have to delete the house above. So I thought that was very good. I am also a massive fan of the heating mechanic. So I know we're not in winter at the moment, but it's very cool having that as a thing. So it made me think about how I wanted to play the game, how different that would be for me. Because I play a lot of Timberborn. I'm not used to. This isn't meant to be a comparison with Timberborn, by the way. They're two very different games. But it was very different for me and how I was used to playing these games. So I feel like I've learnt a lot. What do you mean? There's no iron bars. Where are you going? Oh, that's at capacity. Oh, so if you set that, so I'm still learning. So if you set a warehouse and there's nothing in it, they can't go and get stuff. Right, okay. So we need to... There should be secondary sources. I mean, there probably is. And I'm a massive fan of like the educated craft master thing that they've got going on in this game. I feel like that really is quite good. It's different in that it invests you into certain kind of research, how you want to go about it. You pick a research, you go after that. You don't just generate research points, which I think is very good. I'm a massive fan of the art style, like I've said. It did just feel like when certain things had gone in, like I had all of these warehouses down here, and I'd already started to put this in. I didn't really want to not put it in, if that makes sense. I know, of course, you're always going to want to put it in, but like I felt obliged to carry on. It didn't feel good taking stuff out. And I don't know whether that's just because this is my first playthrough, or because... I don't know. I'm also a massive fan of the approval mechanic. I think it's very good. It's different. Like, I don't know whether in development this game started off as a more quite close Timberborn clone, but it has definitely not been that for me. I have enjoyed playing this greatly. And even down to the decoration. The decorating is different. It's just like the little stuff on the sides like this. And I just feel like a lot of the little mechanics that I quite like some of the stuff that's auto build. Like I definitely feel like I'm going to compare to Timberborn again because that's the only thing I know. But the current automation stuff in Timberborn, which is fine, it's great. We are actually going to, we're going to improve this with the claws because I don't want them to hate me. The current Timberborn automation mechanics are great, yeah, fine. But I feel like some of that stuff should just be auto builds. Like I should just be able to drop because it looks ugly. I don't really want it sat a lot of that sat in the colony, so it does look quite ugly. So I would quite like to move that away, so you don't have to sit and look at it. And auto building stuff would be very good for that. Oh, give me fuel. I should have kept re-rolling there. That was our game plan, wasn't it? Yes, they are getting the stuff now. And supplies arrived again. I love that the machinery is the top of the tree, and that to keep going you have to have the machinery, because if you don't take the machinery, it kind of acts like a rate limiter. Because if the machinery stops, a lot of your industry stops, and then you just have a serious issue. So using the machinery as that's ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to move that like that. That's the barometer I've used for our end game. Because we can produce our own machinery, essentially we should be able to tell the claws to shove it, because we don't need to be reliant on anybody anymore, because we've got our we're self-sufficient. I don't need to take anything from them, because we can produce our own cloaks, we can produce our own heat in the winter. You know, we got loads of copper bars, loads of bronze bars, loads of gold, iron bars, steel, cracking. Like, for all intents and purposes, we should be able to declare independence. I know it's a game, and I know it's an early access. I'm speaking from why I think it's okay to call this now. So, let's talk about my own building. So, I'm fully aware this is an abomination. I would love to do something a little bit different with this. It's just weird that the island layouts has these high bits. We were going to turn all of this into like a farming area, or even behind here was going to be a farming area, but I don't think I quite realised how long it would be to take all of this out. So I'm glad we didn't like chase after that, whatever that was going to be. Oh, that needs to come out, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm glad we didn't chase after whatever that was going to be, because that would have just been a nightmare, I think. But putting this up here was good. It's just weird how you have to, like, you can just build. It just doesn't look good. I wish I could have maybe changed this for a bridge. I know I still could change it for a bridge. I mean, it's fine. But down here, so the slice mechanic is great. What I do find weird is that you can just essentially take out the entire thing here without any repercussions, as evidenced by my hatred of. Let's come over here and look at the boy. We have the floating rock's got it. Well, there isn't. There's another floating rock there, but you know, I thought that floating rock was going to make an arse out of me. It hasn't. Well, it has, because it's gone. Smuggler, like I said once again, this is just kind of a. You can just cut stone at it, which, you know, is great. We just have shed loads of gold bullion now. We are very rich. And then we have some more whiskers again. I mean, the core gameplay, like, loop is very good. It says I just got an achievement of growing this into a whisker nation. Rebellion fervor is 99. I wonder if that can hit 100. Let's just have a look at that achievement. You shouldn't be seeing that. 233 or more. That seems a very weird amount of thing. But, you know, it is. So the game's even acknowledging that I've kind of hit the maximum level. I swear to God, if you leave that in, I'm going to get very upset. I will have to put steps in up here because I'm not leaving that like that. Not at this stage of the game. So come take that out, and then we can at least row this up with more housing. So then we can say we finished our housing rows. And I'd like your feedback as well. Like I know I don't receive as much comment on this as I do my other series, but what did you think of the aesthetic layout I was going for? Do you think we hit that Weymouth look, that British seaside kind of industrial town? I know this is a lot denser down here than I was perhaps hoping for. But I think we've kind of gone for it. You can see the kind of the working. Oh god, dock ship's about to depart. Oh, that's fine. I was going to refuse you, wasn't I? Anyway, I think we've kind of got it. Are you guys going to research this quicker? Yeah, they've almost researched this. So, yeah, I'm actually mainly interested to hear what you guys think about this. Whether you're whether you enjoyed it, whether you'd be interested in getting this game for yourself. Is it something you're interested in playing? I know that time isn't always a thing, because I remember when I first started watching people play games on YouTube, and I was like, why would you not do that and just play the game yourself? But I get that learning a game is challenging times. Sometimes you don't want to learn a game. Sometimes you just want to see somebody else play it. So I mean, there's a multitude of reasons why people choose this way of consuming gaming content, and I'm grateful you guys do, because otherwise nobody would be watching me. And then we'll get some more houses in, because we're about to go into winter and I don't want them getting cold. So there we can see the heat mechanic is in full force. You can see our radiators. Oh, I have a radiator down here. I think I deemed I didn't need one because of these blast furnaces, and I think that is also fine. What's the production? Please tell me I set a production limit on soap. Or are we just ripping through everything? I did not set a production limit on soap. 200, that's fine. Are they actually producing soap? Fish oil, potash. Let's have a look. We have potash. We have fish oil, so they should be producing soap. Maybe they're just using a lot of it. But I'm a massive fan of this heat mechanic. Really good. Really well thought out. It makes you think about expanding like stuff like this over here. Like, these guys are over here now, so I should probably... Oh, does that not... Oh, did that get blown up? That got blown up when the pirates bombed us. Not the pirates, the Whiskers bombed us. And I can also put another radiator over here. And that just spreads the heat. I did find the heat mechanic a little unintuitive to begin with, because I wasn't sure how many things I needed. How many the input furnaces. And I also didn't really make use of valves, which I probably could have done, because I could have turned... You could have the valve switch between the industry in the day and the radiators at night, maybe, just to keep things warm. I don't know. Maybe I would do that better in the future. You can also have water valves. Water never really felt like it was an issue, because when it became an issue, I just put an extra one in. So I don't really get that. I think the ocean outlet pipe is how you're meant to fill water in, but it just seemed a bit weird. So we're going to go for the rail booster now. I will start another research, because, like I said, we may return to this when the proper end game does get put in. So I think we go for... Well, we might as well just keep going for the civic office. We've already started. So, rail booster. Let's have some fun. So, this should be easy to solve. And I guess we won't go any other way as well, don't we? Where's Rail Booster? Oh, is it? It's under that, isn't it? That's really quite annoying. Can you... Ah, next... Oh, so there are variants. Interesting. Maybe I have been doing a lot of things wrong. So this should speed things up quite markedly, should they? Oh, look at that. That yeets along, doesn't it? That yeets along quite fast. Okay. That's quite fun. I guess we're going to put one here as well. I wasn't originally going to use these because I was like, oh, this seems a bit silly. But actually... Which makes me think the steam engine might actually have been a good investment. No, we're not putting valves in. We discussed this. So you're going to yeet. Woo, look at that. That's just dumb. I love it. I love it so much. It's so dumb. Oh, does it keep the speed? I wonder if it keeps the speed for a while. I wonder if now that it's on there, it just... Jesus. I will just unload a normal shipment. We're still not pissing the cats off. I'm not sure if I can squeeze one. Oh, I can squeeze one in here. I would also like to see update the Navy and ships. Maybe that's how you'll fight back against the claws. Maybe there'll be like a naval mechanic. I don't know. I'm just chucking ideas out. A wish list of what I would like to see. So fingers crossed this should go a bit stupid in a minute. And it has gone along. So, I appreciate this is a little bit of a shorter episode than normal. I feel like I said, I feel we're done gameplay wise. I'd like to now take my time to shout out the people that have commented on these. And the main person I want to go to is, bear with me while I load it up, is John Granahan 6102. When I was first initially doing the series and I felt like it wasn't going the way I wanted to, you encouraged me to keep going. It was good that you said you enjoyed something that wasn't Timberborn. You know, it really encouraged me to try something different, not just to stick with playing a Beaver game. So thank you for that, and thank you for everyone else that has watched. If you've made it for this far in this series and you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would, because I want you to see what I'm going to be playing next. The next series after this is Tavern Keeper, just because I bought it a little while back and I want to give it a go. But Whiskerwood will definitely be revisited, so if you have been enjoying this series, do not fear, it will not be going away permanently. When the game is maybe either released or further along in early access, we'll definitely be playing it again. So thank you to everyone that has watched, thank you to everyone that has supported the channel. I am very humbled by all your support all the time, and you know, that's kind of it from me for today. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Well, I won't see you next time for this. I hope to see you in some of my other series. That's what I'm trying to say. Enjoy your rest of your week.